Hello and welcome back to Motivational Mondays with Dumimka. I hope you enjoyed last week's video. Just to recap, it was mainly about the fact that you really need to showcase your skill and talent. If you want people to see you, you have to put yourself in the spotlight so that people can see you. This week's video, as you can see by the title, says that your job is making you dumb. Okay, and you will stay dumb unless you change a couple of things. So here is my story. Back to story time. So here's my story, right? I started working in 2018. I was working for a tobacco company, and I got to the company. I was very excited. I was very young, and I had to do reports. Basically, I was in budgeting and reporting, and I had to do reporting. And there was some, if I can say, there were some videos. There were some reports that I felt could have been done quicker, could have been done easier, could have been automated, and whatever. I sort of got this is how it's done, this is how we've always done it, this is the standard, this is how other affiliates are doing it. And I must say, I kind of lost some creativity, because I felt that I was supposed to just do things the way that they've always been done, and the room for creativity was small. And the funny thing is that every year I kept getting my reviews. When we did year-end reviews, I was always told that I'm not doing process improvement, which was true. I really wasn't doing process improvement. And that was because I really felt that the direction in which I was allowed to do process improvement was kind of boxed. Like, you can process improve, but just like this. And that's not how my brain thinks. There were times when I felt that it doesn't really matter. What matters the most is the method that I use more than the answer. So me and maybe my manager or a peer could come to the same answer. Let's say the answer is 15. We could come to the same answer all the time, like proven and tested, but my answer could have been incorrect simply because I maybe said 5 times 3, but the correct way was to say 5 plus 5 plus 5, which I thought is the same thing though. And eventually I started to try and get into the mind of my manager and my peers, because all I wanted was a pat on the back and increase good reviews, and just to get my reports done the way in which I'm supposed to do it. And this is something that I had picked up already from varsity, because as an accounting student, there's a certain way in which you're meant to answer the questions, right? There's like a structure in which you should give your responses, and I had already gotten to that point where I was more trying to get into the mind of the marker instead of using my own brain, right? Fast forward to today, I'm doing a lot of freelance work, right? And I realized, which is kind of funny, because I'm working with someone who used to be my manager this around the same time that I'm talking about, in 2018, 2019. And she started her own company, right? But so I've been doing some freelance work for her, and I've said to her, you know what, I really want to just use my brain and be creative. And she has welcomed that with open arms, simply because there's no top management that's talking down at her, telling her, no, this is the way it should be done, this is the way it's always been done. And I found that I have explored parts of my brain, or things that I didn't even realize I knew or was passionate about. I have actually explored that. I wake up at 4 a.m. and I just work, right? Whereas in the past, I wouldn't wake up until like maybe 5 minutes to the time I'm supposed to start, when we obviously working from home. And there's just been this shift in me, right, between corporate and freelance, where I'm willing to wake up at 3 a.m. I'm willing to sleep at 3 a.m. just to make sure I get something done right. And it's because mainly I know I have the freedom to do it. And what I mean when I say your job is making you dumb, it's that you, and this is not to everyone, I know some people have very challenging work, and by challenging, I'm not talking about working from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. That's not necessarily challenging your brain, but challenging your life. And trust me, I know what it's like to be working long hours but not feel like you're using your brain. So what I mean by that your job is making you dumb is that most of us got through school by memorizing our work, by looking at past papers and seeing how they were answered previously, so we can make sure that we answer them the same way this time. And because we know that's how you get the marks, and our mind is not necessarily on the fact that we should be applying our mind. Now, I'm not saying quit your job, but I'm saying quit the way that you do your job. Okay, if it is possible, of course, if there is room for that. So if you're given a task at work, if you are an employee, if you are given a task at work, instead of just doing it and thinking about, sorry about the noise, instead of just doing it and thinking about, oh, how does my manager want to see it, apply your mind. And this is not for the benefit of the employer only, it is for your own benefit, because the more in which you apply your mind, the better your chances of making a success even outside of your work. And we know that in the, I think, 1800s or something like that, I stand to be corrected, there were so many inventions, right? There were so many discoveries, and in our time it seems like there's no discoveries and no inventions. It seems like everything has been discovered and found out. It's not necessarily true, but it's because we have gotten into a rut where people know something and they are teaching us this thing, and basically our mindset is, let me learn so that I can get it right. And our mindset should be greater than that, because God, the same brain that Einstein had, the same brain that Dawkins had, and all these people that I kind of can't think about right now, the discoverers of calculus and all of that, the same brains that they had is the same brain that God has given us. Our brains haven't shrunk over the years. We still have the same number of brain cells, but the problem is the way in which we think now. In those days, everyone just wanted to be great. They wanted to discover the next big thing. If something wasn't working, they wanted to find solutions. But we are not finding solutions, we are making a living. Okay, and a lot of us, we're never going to end up becoming successful, because we're never going to be the best at what we do, because we're too busy trying to perfect doing it the way in which other people are doing it. My last words to you today before I leave you is, apply your mind, apply your brain to whatever work you're given. It doesn't matter how small, how big, okay? You will discover parts of your brain that you didn't even know were there, and it will make you more confident. It will make you more confident even to dream. It will make you more confident to work on your own success, because you will know that you are capable of it. But if you're constantly living under someone else's shadow, you will never, let me not say never, it's a strong word, but you probably will not get to a point where you believe in yourself enough to set yourself apart. It starts here. It starts in setting yourself apart in the homogeneous things. Something that may be identical for everyone. You are able to differentiate yourself. My name is Dumimka, aka Mrs. X. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I am looking forward to continuing this journey with you, and like I said, I will be introducing different content, more lifestyle content as well, just funny content, entertainment, but motivational Mondays will always be my baby. So I will continue with this, and I'll see you guys next week Monday. Mwah.